Episode 104, Who is the birth mother? Fortunately, she came. Before eating, as usual, Ningxi checked Little Bun's body temperature and saw that everything was normal. Finally, she could completely relax. As for the fact that Little Bun spoke one word and didn't say anything else, she wasn't worried at all. For her, the most important thing was that Little Bun was healthy. Although she hoped he would speak soon, she would never force him to do something he didn't like. When he was truly willing to speak, he would do so naturally. After breakfast, Ningxi suddenly remembered something. Ah! I almost forgot, I brought gifts for you guys. Gifts? Little Bun's eyes lit up. Ningxi hurriedly went back to the room and took out 2 sky blue gift bags, handing one to Little Bun and the other to Big Bun. Lu Tingxiao took the bag, somewhat surprised. I also have one. Of course. Moreover, the Great Demon King's gift was the most expensive. Lu Tingxiao opened the bag, revealing a set of suits. Looking at his sons, it was indeed a child-sized version of the same suit as his. Ningxi's greatest hobby was probably seeing the father and son wearing matching outfits. Apart from clothes, Ningxi also bought a fluffy teddy bear that could be hung on a school bag for Little Bun and a tie clip for Lu Tingxiao. How is it? Do you like it? Ningxi asked nervously. Little Bun's answer was to swiftly run into the house, bring out his small school bag, and then hand it to Ningxi, requesting her to help hang the little bear. Lu Tingxiao, on the other hand, said, "Want to see me wear it?" Upon hearing this, Ningxi suddenly felt ecstatic, nodding like garlic. Of course, I want to see. Little Bun puffed his cheeks unwillingly and also brought the clothes into the house to change. Ningxi rested her chin on her hand, waiting expectantly. Beyond anticipation, there was more tension. Because this time, the color she chose, was a bit challenging for the Great Demon King's limits. First was cobalt blue, and this time, she chose red. She even dared to bet that the Great Demon King might never have worn red clothes in his life. Of course, she didn't choose too extravagant bright red or crimson. It was a very elegant maroon. When the Great Demon King said he wanted to try it without hesitation after seeing the clothes just now, she was shocked for a long time, fearing that he might not want to wear it. After an anxious wait, the father and son almost simultaneously came out after changing their clothes. Looking at the two standing side by side, Ningxi's expression froze. So handsome. How could they be so handsome? She never expected that the Great Demon King could look so cool in this color. There was no sense of discord at all. Indeed, there was no color that the Great Demon King couldn't handle. Moreover, because she had never seen the Great Demon King wear this color before, she was even more excited when she first saw it. How is it? Lu Tingxiao raised his eyebrows slightly. In fact, from the girl's expression, he could see what she was thinking. He had never worn this color before in his life, but because she gave it to him, he almost hesitated, even enjoying it. Well, as long as it was chosen by his wife, even if it was green, he was afraid he would wear it. So handsome. After seeing the father and son try on the clothes, Ningxi admired them for a long time in complete satisfaction. Lu Tingxiao wore a shirt, a vest, and a jacket, while Little Bun wore overalls in the same color with a bow tie. The two standing together were still pleasing to the eye no matter how many times she looked at them. It wasn't until she saw that the time was getting late that Ningxi finally snapped back to reality. Ah, Lu Tingxiao, isn't your class almost late? No, there's still time. Are you going to take Gongshangzi to look at houses today? These are a few suitable locations I picked out for you as a reference. Lu Tingxiao handed her a folder. You got it done so quickly? Ningxi was amazed at the efficiency of the Great Demon King. It didn't take much time. Because her matters were always his top priority, naturally, things got done quickly. Thank you so much. Watching Lu Tingxiao provide her with detailed analyses and suggestions for each location, Ningxi suddenly felt much more at ease. Then, her attention fell on Little Bun. She hesitated for a moment. I'm going to look at houses today. What should we do with Little Bun? If it's something else, it's fine, but today we'll be running around a lot, which might be inconvenient for him. It's not suitable to bring him along. Little Bun, upon hearing this, immediately showed a face full of the expression of someone about to be abandoned. I'll call you on Shu to come over, Lu Tingxiao suggested. Little Bun stared at his daddy, clutching Ningxi's clothes even tighter, signaling, no. Ningxi hesitated. She was a bit reluctant to leave Little Bun alone here, even though someone would be taking care of him. Seeing her concern, Lu Tingxiao put down his phone and suggested, or, I'll take him to the company, and you can pick him up after you're done. Having little Bun follow his dad would be more reassuring for her. After pondering for a moment, Ningxi bent down and softly spoke to little Bun. Little treasure, I'm really sorry. Auntie is busy today. What do you think? Do you want to wait here for Auntie to come back, or do you want to go with Daddy to the company first? He didn't want to choose any. He just wanted to be with Auntie. He wasn't afraid of being tired. But, he was afraid of causing trouble for Auntie and making Auntie tired. After struggling for a while, in the end, little Bun reluctantly cast a glance at his daddy, meaning he chose to go to the company with Lu Tingxiao. Because, in this way, he could create more opportunities to spend time with Auntie for his daddy and Auntie. Even though he didn't really want to do this, he decided to rely on his daddy since he was in an alliance with him. If he wanted to stay with Auntie forever, he had to rely on his daddy. Lu Tingxiao, seeing his son's choice, revealed a satisfied expression. Indeed, he was his biological son. Ningxi, of course, didn't notice the eye communication between the father and son. She hugged little Bun, feeling sorry for him. My good boy, Auntie will come to pick you up as soon as she's done. After comforting little Bun, Ningxi and Lu Tingxiao started to act separately. Luo Corporation Building. When Lu Tingxiao led little Bun out of the car, they immediately attracted a lot of attention everywhere they went. Almost all eyes were on the little boy whom Lu Tingxiao was holding. Without much thought, just by looking at this little face, it was undoubtedly the legendary little prince, shining brightly. Especially today, Lu Tingxiao and little Bun were wearing the parent-child outfits that Ningxi bought for them. Standing side by side like this, they murdered all the gazes. Even the morning sunlight seemed to favor them, showering them with all its warmth, making the father and son duo seem to emit a sparkling effect. Otherwise, how could they naturally have this dazzling special effect? The receptionist at the front desk could not contain her excitement and sent out an advance warning in the company chat. Oh my god. Breaking news. CEO Lu brought the little prince to the company. The little prince is so handsome, cute, charming, and adorable. As soon as this message appeared, the company chat erupted like hot oil splashing into cold water, completely exploding with new messages, rapidly scrolling. The little prince? Am I illiterate? How could CEO Lu possibly bring the little prince to the company? Are you sure you didn't see it wrong? How do you know it's the little prince? I've been at the company for 5 years and have never seen a single hair of the little prince. There really is a little prince? I thought it was just a rumor. Even if there is, it's impossible for him to really bring his son to the company. CEO Lu is so low-key, how could he bring his son to the office? The secretary naturally couldn't accept this. She strongly rebutted, it's the little prince. He looks exactly like CEO Lu. How could I possibly be mistaken? And they're even wearing parent-child outfits. I've never seen CEO Lu wear such bright colors. Do you guys know what color he's wearing today? Red. Red. He even wore this color to match his son. And, he's still so handsome. He looks even more handsome today. Listening to the secretary's vivid description, some people gradually began to believe, requesting photos. It's too unfair for one person to enjoy it. At that time, I was completely dumbfounded. How could I think of taking pictures? CEO Lu has already taken the little prince and entered the elevator. You'll see for yourselves in a bit. Because the secretary informed them in advance, almost everyone temporarily put down their work and fixed their gaze on the elevator. After an anxious wait, finally, ding! The elevator doors opened. Lu Tingxiao was holding a little round ball of a boy, walking out of the elevator. They, who usually only wore black, were actually wearing red today. Moreover, CEO Lu was really holding a little boy who looked about 5 years old. The boy was wearing clothes of the same color, and his little face was as delicate and adorable as a mini version of Lu Tingxiao. Even his cool and aloof expression was exactly the same as Lu Tingxiao's. Seeing this father-son duo, all the employees were stunned until someone in the corner finally reacted and hurriedly greeted, "Good morning, CEO Lu." "Good morning, little master." This was followed by a chorus of "Good morning, CEO Lu," and "Good morning, little master." Although the scene of everyone standing up to pay their respects was quite spectacular, the 5-year-old little Bun remained very calm. His facial expression didn't change at all. In reality, the little guy was still immersed in the sorrow of parting from Auntie Xiaoxi, and he didn't pay attention to what was happening around him. As soon as the two entered the CEO's office, the discussions outside couldn't be suppressed any longer. My goodness. It's really the little master. The little master's genes are too good. Who is the birth mother of the little master becoming more and more intriguing? CEO Lu actually wore red. I always thought that black was the most suitable color for CEO Lu. Now it proves that I know too little. Actually, what I'm most curious about is, who bought these clothes for CEO Lu and the little master? And who made them wear it? Right. With CEO Lu's personality, he would never buy or wear clothes of this color and style. It's more plausible for the second young master. Do we even need to ask? It must be the future Mrs. CEO. Ningxi pressed the doorbell of the hotel room. Almost as soon as she pressed it, the door was pulled open. A young man stood at the door, looking anxious and nervous. His face, besides excitement, seemed to also reveal a somewhat relieved expression upon seeing Ningxi. "Boss, you're here." Gong Shangzi greeted, visibly excited. Upon seeing Ningxi, Gong Shangzi's face showed not only excitement but also a hint of relief. After all, Ningxi's sudden appearance in Los Angeles was too unexpected for him. He had spent a sleepless night worrying that this might be a dream. He had been anxiously waiting for Ningxi to come find him since early morning, afraid that she wouldn't show up, afraid that he had done something wrong and she might regret her decision, and afraid he might fall into another abyss of despair. Fortunately, she came. Ningxi looked at Gong Shangzi, who was neatly dressed. "Is everything ready? Shall we go?" "Yes, let's go." "Have you had breakfast?" "Yes, the hotel provided it." "Great. Let's set off then. Shall we start by looking at the houses? Once we found one, we can go ahead and buy what we need." "Okay." When Ningxi later examined the details, she discovered that in the materials prepared by Lu Tingxiao, even the sequence to visit the houses and the best transportation routes were all planned out. It was truly admirable, and her heart was filled with warmth. Early in the morning, she took Gong Shangzi to visit several places. Thanks to the recommendation from the Demon King, every location was very suitable, and even the landlords were very courteous. Finally, the two of them went to see a high-end office building in the south of the city. The studio was not large, but it was sufficient. The decoration was simple, and office supplies were readily available. It was ready for occupancy, meeting all of Ningxi's requirements. The best part was that the surrounding companies were mostly related to the arts, with several fashion design companies nearby, creating a great atmosphere. After discussing with Gong Shangzi, they decided on this place. After signing the contract with the landlord, the two of them prepared to go shopping for necessities. In the next few days, our main focus will be on procurement, and then we'll go to the talent market to recruit a few people. Ningxi was speaking to Gong Shangzi when suddenly a large group of young men and women approached them. These people were dressed in fashionable and avant-garde styles. The man walking in the middle was surrounded by everyone and had a proud expression on his face. "Teacher Dai, you're amazing. During this fashion week in Los Angeles, you've overshadowed all the designers in the country. Even the chief designer of CL, Mr. Smith, praised you. This is nothing. After returning this time, half of the big-name actresses in the entertainment industry are wearing clothes designed by Teacher Dai. I heard that Teacher Dai is planning to sign up for the Golden Summit Award. Teacher Dai is undoubtedly the winner of this Golden Summit Award." Ningxi only glanced casually at first and didn't pay much attention. However, she noticed that Gong Shangzi's expression changed instantly when he saw the man among them. To be precise, when he saw the man in the middle. Well, just now those people addressed the man as Teacher Dai. Could it be? "Shangzi, do you know this person?" Ningxi asked seemingly casually. Gong Shangzi clenched his fists and nodded with a cold face. "Yes." Ningxi understood in her heart. "Is he the scumbag teammate Dai Wei who stole your design drafts?" "Yes." Gong Shangzi kept his eyes fixed on the man across from them until they passed by. Ningxi suddenly thought of something and found it strange. "Hey, Shangzi, you two were so close just now. Even that Dai Wei glanced in our direction. How come he didn't recognize you?" At this moment, the gloom on Gong Shangzi's face had gradually faded. Hearing Ningxi's question, he replied somewhat embarrassed, "Actually, even though I'm a fashion designer myself, I don't pay much attention to my appearance because I'm always focused on drawing and handling social interactions. I don't really care about my dressing style. So? I guess it's because I didn't stoop so low as to look like a beggar that he didn't recognize me. Hehe, no wonder. You really are like a mudslide in the design circle." Ningxi chuckled. Designers, who wouldn't care about their appearance? This guy had managed to turn himself into a beggar. Ningxi coughed lightly, retracting her wandering thoughts. She scrutinized the young man beside her and advised, "But seriously, don't do this again. A good mental state is more conducive to your creativity, you know? Besides, with such a good foundation, it's practically a unique selling point. You're wasting it. Look at that Dai Wei, he's dressed so meticulously, even with heavy makeup and colored contact lenses. His hair wax is shining, and he doesn't even look half as handsome as you. Gong Shangze was a little embarrassed by her words. Boss, you're exaggerating. Ningxi raised an eyebrow. I'm not. Wait until you have a horde of crazy fangirls. You'll believe it then. Heh, this guy had a face that could make even the Demon King jealous. She wasn't exaggerating at all. If it weren't for his design talents, she'd want to pull him into the entertainment industry. By the way, what is the Golden Summit Award? Is it prestigious? Ningxi asked curiously. Well, it's probably the most authoritative fashion design award in the country. There's still half a month before registration, and time is tight, but, boss, I want to give it a try. Gong Shangze requested with determination in his eyes. You want to participate? Of course, go ahead. Anything you need my help with, I'll fully support you. Ningxi patted Gong Shangze on the shoulder. Thank you, boss. Your words are enough. In the past, he had only treated design as a pure hobby, being interested only in drawing. This time, he regarded it as a career, as a belief and goal. Most importantly, he wanted to prove to the person in front of him that she had not chosen the wrong person. Lu Corporation, CEO's office. After entering, the little bun hadn't left the window. He lay there with the telescope, not moving an inch, becoming a small evening stone. Lu Tingxiao raised his head from a pile of documents and noticed that his son hadn't left the window. He frowned slightly. Little treasure, go rest in the lounge for a while. The little bun didn't move. Lu Tingxiao glanced at his son. Your Auntie Xia rested here a few days ago. Upon hearing this, the little bun immediately left the windowsill and went to the lounge. Finally coaxing his son into taking a nap, Lu Tingxiao sighed slightly in relief and continued working. However, it didn't take long for the little guy to wake up and find another way to entertain himself. Clearly, just gazing out the window wasn't enough for him. The little bun took out his writing board and began to write swiftly.